Welcome children. Today we can see about how to perform binary file updation. How to change the content of a binary file. File is already created. How can you change the content which is already there in the file? How can you change that content? See, this is a logic. Here there is a question is there. Create a binary file stud.dat that contain information such as roll number, name, age, mark and grade. Program should update the grade of all students as A whose mark is greater than 90. So we have to update the student's grade as A if mark is greater than 90. That is a question. So the first step you have to create a binary file. So this is the file that is created stud.dat. After creating that file, you have to read the content of the file and check the condition. Check the mark is greater than 90. If it is greater than 90, you are changing the grade as A. That means this change is taking place only within that variable, within that list variable. And after that, this changed record you are writing into a new file. If the condition is satisfied, that means if the condition is A, then condition is S, then you are copying that record into the new file copy.dat. That updated record you are copying into this copy.dat. If the condition is not satisfied, then the existing record you are copying into the copy.dat. So first you have to check it, mark is greater than 90. If it is greater than 90, you have to change the grade, and the changed record you are writing into the new file copy.dat. If the mark is less than 90, the existing record you are writing into the new file copy.dat. So that is a two procedure. Checking the condition, updating the mark if the condition is satisfied. Updated record you are writing into the new file. If the condition is not satisfied, the existing record you are writing into the new file. And the next step, you are removing the existing file. You are removing the existing file and renaming the new file as the old file name. Rename the copy.dat as stud.dat. And that will be using as the final file. So there is a logic behind for the updating the content of a binary file. Now, see, this is a question. Once again, go through the question. You have to update the grade of all students whose mark is greater than 90. That we can try out here in the Python screen. Just program is written over here. And here I just written only the mark greater than 90. You have to write the else part also. If it is else, you have to copy that into the dump into the new file itself. That is not written here. And that is all about that program. I'll try out that program in this Python screen. Yes, now you can see this is a creation part of the file. N records accepted from the user and which is stored in a list. And again the same procedure will be accepted. The second record you accept from the user. The record will be updated along with the existing record in the list. So all the N records you stored inside the list, and the list you are writing into the binary file. That means all the N records together you are writing into the binary file. It is not written as an individual file. You are writing the N there, or whole N records you are writing into the binary file. That is all about that creation part. Next step, you have to do your updation. For updation, you need two files. One is the existing file and one is the new file. So I am going to open both the file here. Here the new file object name is new. Open. I am going to give the file name as copy.dat, and which is opened in W mode. See, which is opened in WB mode. Next step, we have to read records from the old file. Inside the old file, you return the entire record. It's not written as individual record. So we can read it back in the same way. The entire record you can read it back. So I am going to use the load function k equal to p dot load of old. Old is the file object name. So you are reading from the existing file. Now the entire content of the existing file is read and stored inside the variable k. Next, you have to take one by one record from k. For that I am using a for loop. So one by one records you are extracting and stored inside the variable t. Now you have to check the condition whether the mark is greater than 90. Mark is in the fourth location. Mark is in the third location. Roll number 0th location. 1, 2 and 3. Mark is in the third location. So you have to check whether the third location is greater than 90 or not. T of 3 greater than 90. If T of 3 greater than 90, you have to update the grade. So grade is in the fourth location. Now I am updating the grade as A, and which is updated in the list T. T is a list now. So within that list you updated that content, and that updated record I am going to write into the new file. So that updated record you return into the new file. Next, if the condition is false, that is else part, without updating that you are writing into the new file. Without updating you are writing into the new file. So see that dump of the T itself we are writing into the new file. Here updated record you are writing, that means grade is changing. Here without any changing you are writing the record into the file. Now that procedure will be repeated within the for loop. And when you come out of the loop, the entire content of the stud.dat will be copied into copy.dat. If the condition is satisfied, then the updated record. If the condition is not satisfied, then the existing record itself copied into the new file. Now I am going to close both the streams. Old.close. And same way I am going to close the second stream also. Yes. So the second stream also closed here. Both the streams closed. Next, you have to remove the old file stud.dat. You have to remove. For that we have to use a module OS. That you can see I just use the module OS is imported here. And I am going to use the same module here. I can use os.remove. os.remove of your file name stud.dat. So automatically that stud.dat will be removed from your secondary storage device. From your system itself that file stud.dat is removed. And next step I have to rename the file copy.dat. So I am going to rename that file os.rename, and the new file copy.dat I am going to rename it as stud.dat. Yes, now copy.dat is renamed as stud.dat. Okay, now you have only stud.dat is there. You don't have the old file stud.dat. The new updated records are there in the stud.dat, and the stud.dat is existing here. Next step, you have to open stud.dat, read its content, display back on the screen. So I am going to open stud.dat. Now here you return stud.dat content, you return as an individual record. You return the content of the stud.dat as an individual record here. Depends on the condition satisfied, you are writing one by one record. So when you read it back, you have to read it back as an individual record. Means you have to use loop there to read the content from the file. So I am going to use the while loop. While true, first record I am going to read equal to p dot load of the object name is M. Say, this is the way you can read the content of the file stud.dat. And you are just displaying that value, print K. I am not displaying individual elements. If you want, you can use it. I use the try block. Use the try block here. Try. And the first record you are reading here. I told you when you use the loop to read from the file, you have to use try block here. Now next, except block. Within the block, except block, you are going to specify the error, EOF error. That is the error. That means when you reach at the end of the file, EOF error will be raised. And if it is raised, you can jump out of the loop. And after jumping out of the loop, you can close the stream. So I am going to close that stream, m.close. So that is all about the program. Go through the program once again. Two files, stud.dat and copy.dat. This is the old file and this is the new file. You are reading from the old file. Individual records are extracting. Checking the condition. If the condition is satisfied, you are writing into the new file. Updated record, you are writing into the new file. Condition not satisfied, the existing record written into the new file. Both the streams will be closed here. Next step, you are removing the stud.dat file and renaming the new file copy.dat as stud.dat. Yes, next step, you are just opening the stud.dat file. Now you have only stud.dat is existing. You just open that file in RB mode. Using the while loop, you are reading the content and displaying onto the screen. That is all about the program. Next, you have to call the function. Now just call both the functions. Now just input 3 records. See the output. See here, this is changed into A grade. For the first child, I just written B grade. Now it is changed into A. And for the second child also, the grade is B. And here it is A. And here the last child, it's less than 90. So it's old grade itself, that is C itself. That is all about the program. So when you copy down into your notebook, just make changes over here. Here I just written only greater than a 90 condition. Here you have to write the else part also. Within the else part you have to dump into the same record, you have to dump into the file. That is all about the program. Just copy down into your notebook. After that, do it in the system. Thank you, children.